The journey is right there. Journey starts today. Oh, that's. Yeah, I love how the work email goes off. Primarily because you're streaming. Because the journey starts today. It's a brand new world, girl. You know where to find me. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it my way. We gonna talk and love each other, and bring them in the hand like every day. And we're already on our way. The journey starts today. Nope, it's still there. What's up, like a link? How are you, bro? The journey starts today. The journey starts today. What's up, Tyree? How you doing, Tyree? What's up, Julian? That's because I started it later. I don't know what I feel like it's a weird inconsistency where sometimes if I start earlier, I don't get as many people until later, and if I start later, I get more people. So it's like a work in progress, so to speak, or speak to so. I don't know which is what. I've been singing the dub version because I found the full version of the song, so that's been kind of the thing for today. Obviously, what we're going to talk about is the PlayStation 5 event and other things. I think the PlayStation 5 event is like the only thing of real note. I mean, obviously, we got Persona 4 Golden on PC. That's another thing. That's cool. Revolver, thank you for the gift because you didn't have to do it and you did it. And I appreciate that you did it, so thank you. And then we obviously have the Pokemon DLC that comes out Wednesday, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday because it's the 17th and it's the day after my birthday. My birthday is Tuesday the 16th. So, yeah. So we'll kind of go over some of the games that were announced. I know you did. That's why I'm telling you thank you. I saw it. I downloaded it. What's up, Sonic the Hedgehog? Is that a gender bent version of Sonic the Hedgehog? Or is that assuming a gender? Usually, when you call yourself Sonic the Hedgehog, the first thing I think is like.
You
The first thing I think is literally a gender bent version. Hump Day DLC. That's literally what it is. No, Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, you're welcome. I want you to experience the greatness. I was gonna play it anyway. I'm about to take a shot listening to this. Just wanted to know this. Want you to know this. Thank you, Robert. Robert out here showing love. Obviously, go subscribe to Gaming with Me. Obviously. Obviously. And we're gonna shoot the shit and talk about PlayStation 5 stuff because I haven't really talked about it. So that's important to talk about. What's up, Red Dragon? Damn. So we're gonna go through these PlayStation 5 games and see things of note. But for those who do care and are interested, uh, Persona 4 Golden is now on PC. From what I heard, it's a pretty standard port, but it looks good and it plays fine, so there's no issues with it. So that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, I guess we'll just get into it. So let's start. I'm gonna kind of go through the list of games, but okay. So I guess let's just talk about the PlayStation 5 event as a whole. Oh, what's up, the Game Hunter? Damn, Revolver already out here throwing regular statements. It's not that I disagree with him, mind you. I'm just saying he is throwing out reckless statements. That's all I'm saying. What's up, Lightning? Also, just though for those who know, don't gift me PlayStation 4 Gold, and I have it already. It plays damn well at 60 FPS. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's an RPG. It's not like a crazy fast frame rate really means a lot anyway. So I'm gonna try to start from the beginning of the. Oh, that's right. Death Stranding will be on PC soon. I'm kind of scrolling through the gaming news, but I'm gonna start from the PlayStation 5 event for it. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Ratchet look amazing, but I can't believe I never played one. PlayStation 5 presentation was garbage. Damn. So I don't know what the general consensus is like within gamers because I haven't really looked. I've seen primarily positive things from that whole event, but I'm curious where the 11 of you feel. So real quick, before I get into my thoughts and details, because if you didn't see my stream, you don't know. What does everyone, if you had to rank it out of a like from 1 to 10, where would you rank the PlayStation 5 event? So I'm gonna let you guys kind of give your opinions first, and then we'll kind of go from there. I'm just curious where everyone is at with it. So out of a 10, out of 1 through 10, 10 being the best, where do you rank that event? Damn, Tyree. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it. Sony came out swing. Sony did come swinging. So I would say that's a pro PS5 event. You liked it. I got what I wanted. Okay, Red Dragon. Yeah, Tyree, I kind of figured it was a 9 or higher, or at least the top, like either 8, 9, or 10, based off of the statement. Revolver put it in a 3. Sonica put it in a 7. Yeah, Red Dragon, 7 out of 10. He got what he wanted. Lightning puts it at a 1. I will give it a 5. It was just average to me. I personally didn't watch the event live, but I enjoyed the games they showed. 7.5. It's weird. It seems the 8.5, 8 out of 10 from Anime Rapper. It's weird. So I think if I average this together, which I could do that real quick for the hell of it. Let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's gonna lean towards mainly positive reviews though. That's what it seems to be so far, is mainly positive, um, for various reasons. I'm just letting everyone get their piece in before I jump into it. But that's about 10 people, so that would be about the amount of viewers I have. So if I did calculator, I'm pretty sure it's gonna average highly, but I'll do it anyway. That's what 9 plus 3 plus 7 plus 7 plus 1 plus 5 plus 7.5 plus 8 plus 10 plus 8, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's 10 divided by, what's it out of 100? So it seems like the average is like 6.5, but it's primarily because of the low lows it got. But I think mostly people. Jesus Christ, Lightning! What did you just do? Did you just gift me like a bunch of fucking? You just gifted me Final Fantasy, pretty much the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy. Jesus Christ! Y'all didn't see it because he did it and didn't tell nobody. But damn, that was out of fucking nowhere, you madman! Christ Almighty, bro. Hold on. No, a second. The fucking Steam thing popped up on my page because he fucking just gifted me 3 Final Fantasy games. I don't know where you guys think I'm gonna have all this free time to play these games. I don't make enough on YouTube or Twitch for this to be my main position. You fucking madmen and women. I appreciate it. Thank you, Lightning. But goddamn, I'm glad people enjoyed it, but I'm tired of Sony doing the bare minimum to get praise. Okay, so let's get into it. Because if you watch my live stream of me reacting to it that day, you would know I was relative. I'll put it this way. I started out okay with it, Like I was like, all right, it had a good start, and then for me personally, it got progressively worse. That is not to deny that there weren't games there, and that they didn't try to hit most of the marks they did. But like any other fucking event, we had a situation where after the event happened, there was like, oh, clarification on this game. Oh, this game is coming out on other consoles and that kind of nonsense. We're not even gonna. The Miles Morales situation in itself was a whole fucking debacle. So if we went down the games, first thing you throw out here, Grand Theft Auto 5 on PS5 next year. And I'm just like, bro, this is a PlayStation 5 event. Why would you start with GTA 5? Now, I personally understand why, which is it's because GTA 5 is literally one of the best-selling games of this generation, period. It's probably one of the best-selling games of all time at this point. And that's whatever. But if we're talking about a brand new console generation, the one thing I don't give a fuck about is seeing Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, if you would announce Grand Theft Auto 6 and then on the side been like, by the way, we're all supporting Grand Theft Auto 5, cool. That's not what we got. We literally just got Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online coming. Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales. That game has a whole bunch of shit surrounding it. So a lot of us were surprised that was even coming out this year because the original Spider-Man game has only been out for like a year and a half at this point. So it was like, oh damn, you putting out another Spider-Man game, and then it's kind of come out, and then there's been a bunch of miscommunication that essentially Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales is essentially the Uncharted legacy of Spider-Man, meaning it is a standalone game, but it's just more it's kind of just more expanded DLC. Now, granted, I know people like Juice and I think T who love Uncharted Legacy, so I'm not even saying it's gonna be a bad game, but it now makes more sense that oh, that's right, you guys, you could easily get this out quick enough because you're gonna be reusing a bunch of assets from Spider-Man PS4. That's essentially what Miles Morales is gonna be. A bunch of reused assets, not that much change to it. And it'll probably be a shorter game in comparison too. Doesn't mean the game's gonna be bad. The marketing on that just could have been better. Gran Turismo 7. I think the thing that bothered me about the Gran Turismo 7 announcement was like literally that was a game I expected to be launched. I expected Gran Turismo to be launched. And we have no idea when that game comes out. And and to me that was such an easy thing to get right. That was like one of my biggest issues with this fucking event. Half of these games don't have release dates. Half of them don't have. The majority of them don't have release months, and a small chunk of them have release either years or windows. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like the Marvel Spider-Man was like one of the few games that actually had like holiday 2020. Gran Turismo 7, we don't fucking know. Ratchet and Clank, I think it's meant for next year. I don't even know if they even gave the specifics on that. Ratchet and Clank is another cool game in the sense that, oh look, you're promoting a franchise from the previous generation that people fuck with. Although I've heard various opinions on Ratchet and Clank, because it's definitely from what if anyone watches I think the YouTube channel is called the Gaming Brit Show. I remember him doing like this full breakdown of Ratchet and Clank, the remake that came out in 2016, I want to say, and how it kind of gets away from like traditional Ratchet and Clank, and it definitely feels like this game is following in that same remake style. But it's another one of those like at least it's a mainline franchise that people fuck with. But once again, we don't know when the bitch is coming out. We don't know when the bitch is coming out. That was probably my issue with it. Like it wasn't like there weren't games here, but a bunch of them just aren't coming out on PS5 until like next year, or we just don't know when. Then you got games that are multi-platform, which to me kind of takes away from the whole experience, because I'm like, you're trying to convince me of why I should buy a PlayStation 5, and you don't have the power argument anymore. So realistically, if I'm a gamer who cares about like high quality visuals, you got to show me games that I can only get on PlayStation. It's the same argument you would make against Xbox. Now, granted, Xbox is always multi-plat, so I have the same issue. But the point I'm trying to make is that like You can't show me a game that is on PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox, and then expect me to default to PlayStation without showing me a bunch of exclusives. And to be fair, there are exclusives here. For example, Sackboy, which is pretty much a spin-off of Little Big Planet, but as a platformer, which didn't look bad by any means. I think I remember saying, like, yeah, this looks all right. This looks like it had some legit effort into it. I don't even think we know when this is coming out, do we? No, we don't. We don't have no idea when the fuck this is coming out. It's another one of those cool game. When's it coming out? And that's the other thing, Revolver. There's a few games that are not only cross-platform but cross-generation. Like for example, Kena. Kena was a game that a lot of people were like, "Man, that looks cool." Guess what? You can play that on your PlayStation fucking 4 and PC. So the fuck do you need to buy a PlayStation 5 for? Same thing with the Oddworld Soulstorm, which is another cool game. Guess what? Don't need to play it on your PlayStation 5. You can buy that on PlayStation 4 or PC. It's the same shit. Like, why would you and then you got Goodbye Volcano High. That's another one. That game had a weird fucking trailer to begin with. But it's another game I can play on my PlayStation 4. You're trying to get me to buy a brand new console, and half of these games come out either on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox, or a combination of one of those three. And I'm like, bro, at that point, I have no reason to buy your new console for those games. I'm scrolling down a few other ones. There's a bunch of PlayStation PC ports, which just makes me go, which if anything is just going to be another generation where people are going to be like, yeah, we probably should just build a PC. Because almost a good chunk of these games, like Hitman 3 is another one, cross-generation and cross platform, meaning you can get this on not only Xbox One and PlayStation 4, you can get this on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC. The fuck do I care about getting that on PlayStation 5? Little Devil is cross generation, so Little Devil I can get on PlayStation 4 or PC. NBA 2K I'm not even going to talk about. And then you have Bugsnax. Bugsnax is another cross generation game, meaning I can get that on PlayStation 4 and PC. Demon Souls, that one, I think that was a good announcement. You know why you didn't know that information? Because the shit didn't come out until after the event. That's the one thing I absolutely hate. I hate when the console event happens and then you don't find out until after the event that, oh, by the way, this game is multi-plat. This game comes out in like 2 years. This game's on PC. This game is going to be on Xbox. The fuck do I care then? Like, for example, Capcom's Pragmata. That's multi-platform. So that's on Xbox and PC. Horizon, that's another good announcement. Demon Souls remake is a good announcement. The Miles Morales thing was good. The Little Big Planet spinoff looked good. Gran Turismo 7 looked good. I'm trying to be fair about this. A lot of these games look good. It's not like these are bad looking games or these were bad showings of those games. The biggest problem was that a bunch of these fucking games are going to be on different platforms. Demon Souls apparently is only exclusive to PlayStation 5, so that's fine. Horizon Zero Dawn 2, that's going to be on PlayStation 5 only. That's fine. Resident Evil 8, we already figured that was multi-platform because it's Capcom. What else? And then we heard like weird things, like there's a control port coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox, but that game started on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, so that's not even a big deal. And then the other problem is that you had like these cool, some of the heavy hitting titles I mentioned so far. A lot of them were in the beginning, with a few sprinkled in the middle, like the Little Big Planet spinoff or Horizon Zero Dawn 2 being towards the end. Then you just had a bunch of fucking indie titles, which is cool. Indie shit isn't bad, but you know what you probably should do, considering you're trying to show off the power of your console? Make a reel of those games. Indie shit does not need the same extended time as like heavy hitting games. I appreciate the respect and love to give those games in the first place, but I'm also very much of a realist and realize that a lot of people don't give a fuck about like 8 to 20 different fucking indie titles that all either look the same or have different, or either look the same or don't have a reason to have the amount of attention they get. Like, for example, Little Devil is one of those few exceptions. I thought that trailer was really good and it looks like an interesting game. Guess what? I can play that on PlayStation fucking 4. So I don't even need to get it. I don't even need to buy a PlayStation 5 for it. Deathloop, for some is surprisingly, Deathloop is actually coming out this year, but it's a PC game. So I can buy it. Oh, Project Athea. Let's look. I feel like I skipped it on accident and I didn't mean to. Yeah, Project Athea is another PlayStation 5 PC port, meaning you can buy it on PC or you can get it on PlayStation 5. Either one is a viable option, which is fine, cool. It's a viable option, but like, if anything, I'm just kind of like, well, if that's the case, I can just buy. I can just get it on PC. We're talking now. If we want to be, and it depends on how specific we were trying to get here. But we can go through the PS5 category of games that were announced and shown and see which ones are only on PlayStation 5. Just to be fair. And I'm saying PC counts because PCs become more and more viable of a platform. So let's look through the games and see which ones are specifically PlayStation 5. For right now, Grand Theft Auto 5 is PlayStation 5, but I don't imagine that to stay. So that's I'm GTA 5 counts right now, but I have a high chance it won't moving forward. Spider-Man, Gran Turismo, Ratchet and Clank. What is this? Oh, Returnal, which is a game I don't even remember. Oh, I did see Returnal. Returnal, I think supposedly is one. Sackboy, the Destruction All Stars for PlayStation 5. What else? It'll probably be Horizon Zero Dawn 2. That's another one. What else? That's about 8 games. Let's see what else. The rest of these, oh, and that's Marvel. That's Spider-Man again. Horizon Zero Dawn already counted that. Demon Souls remake. That puts you at 9. Astro's Playroom, 10. There's 10 games. There are 10 games that count as PlayStation 5 only games. And I think of those 10 games, only like 2 of them, I want to say 2 or so of them are coming out this year. Yeah, I think about 2 of them. And I think that's like Miles Morales and then one of the other ones. I don't remember what the other one was, though. Miles Morales and I think, is it Little Devil? Well, no, that's not even exclusive. Miles Morales and maybe that's it. The other ones I think don't come out this year. So, like Ghostwire is a PC port. So like that, and that's part of my thing. So like, it's not like there weren't games there. So like, if I had to give it a rating, I'd probably hang around a 4 or a 5. I thought the pacing was fucking bad, and some of those games didn't need to be shown, and there was a lot of that. Like, I don't know when this is coming out. Like, you showing me a bunch of games that like we're not gonna see for a few years is the same issue that like PlayStation 4 had and like the Wii U had, where we got shown games way too far in advance. So the level of excitement was high in that moment, but as the games took so fucking long to come out, the shit just got progressively worse and worse and worse and worse. Like, for example, Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima have been in like at least 2 to 3 E3s, I think. I think Last of Us has been at 3 E3s, and I think Ghost of Tsushima has been at 2. And those games are just not coming out. Actually, Last of Us will be out on Tuesday, I think. And then Ghost of Tsushima will be out like a month later. Well, a month and a day, because it's like July 17th or some shit. And so, like, when I looked at that event, I didn't think it was bad, but I just kind of came out of it going like, all right, like nothing changed for me. Like, there are cool games there, but like realistically, the only game of note that I would be interested in buying is Miles Morales. And knowing that it's essentially like a Lost Legacy kind of game where it's just an expansion, which although I would probably still play it, I'm not gonna buy a PlayStation 5. What I'll do is what I usually do, what I did for the PlayStation 3, where I let a good 5 to 10 games stack up that I wanted to play. Wait, is it Friday? I thought it was the 16th. So it comes out on the 19th? All right, then fuck it. Fine. My bad. So when it comes down to it, it's like I'll get Miles Morales when I get a PlayStation 5 in like 2 years. That's realistically my whole thing. Like, was the event cool? Yeah, but is it like day one cool? And I think that's the difference people gotta understand. Being excited for a console launch is one thing, but is that gonna make me get it day one? Like, there might be games I want to play on PlayStation 5, which there are, but are these games coming at launch? And the answer is no. A lot of these games are coming like a year later. I think Hitman 3 comes out in January, but I've never been interested in the Hitman series. And we didn't even get to see gameplay of that, which is I love how the dude's like, we're gonna show you some gameplay. And then you showed me another trailer and we didn't see any fucking gameplay. That was probably the other problem. A lot of these trailers, and granted, I think it was, to be fair, it was a good mixture of gameplay and trailer, but there was still too much trailer for my personal taste, which is probably the reason why I thought the pacing was annoying. Like, don't put all these games in here if they only have trailers, which a lot of these games did. A lot of these games were only trailers, and if that was the case, just keep them out or put them in a reel. That's what you could have done. And then that was the other thing, the whole holding down the console reveal until the very end, and then you reveal, oh look, there's a digital edition of the console, and we don't even know the price of the console, which is absolutely nuts. We don't even know what the major difference. We only know the major difference between the digital and the main console, which is the lack of a disc drive, but we don't know the prices. We don't even know when the console comes out, and I'm like, bro, the console. If the console reveal was going to be literally just that, it was not worth holding off until the end of the show. For God's sakes, we don't even know what the fucking UI looks like. Like, it's one of those things where I would hang it at a 5. Personally, it's a 5. There's not enough there to get me excited to, like, here's my thing. When you're talking about console reveal directs or streams or whatever, like, the whole point is to get me excited to buy the game at launch. I mean, buy the console at launch. This did not make me excited to buy the console at launch. This made me like, okay, I'll probably get it eventually. That's like where I'm at with PlayStation right now. I might get it eventually, but I'm definitely not like sweating to play it at launch, because the only game I would care about is Miles. And like I said, it's essentially just a slight expanded. It's like a slight expansion. And then the thing is, we don't even know about installing games and shit. So, like, how big is this fucking SSD that's in this motherfucker? That's my other question. I am excited for the Kenya and Miles game. But yeah, and see, the Kenya game, you don't have to buy a PlayStation 5 for. Kenya's coming out on PlayStation 4. So if you own a PlayStation 4, you will play Kenya when it launches. The day it launches, you'll get it on PlayStation 4. And it's on PC. So, like, it doesn't even matter with that one. Miles is like the only game of heavy note that would make someone buy that console at launch. And my problem is, Miles, knowing that it's just a lost legacy kind of game, means you're pretty much spending potentially somewhere between $400 and $600 on a console that only has like one real game. That, by the way, is going to be a short game due to what kind of game it is. Exactly. 1 terabyte's not gonna be enough. And we're not even talking about like the brand new Call of Duties and shit that they're gonna obviously come out with. Call of Duty and Battlefield, which is like some of the main games people buy on these systems, which take up huge download file sizes on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox right now. Why did you buy a Switch day one when Zelda was on the Wii U? Because I knew nothing else was coming out on the Wii U. This whole event proved a lot of these games are PS4 and PC related. Also, I did buy other games on the Switch day one, but I do see your point in the sense that the Switch didn't have a lot when it launched either, but at least had one heavy hitting game, which required you spending more money on a storage. But I didn't know. When I bought the Switch, I literally downloaded that to the. Actually, I don't even own a physical copy of Zelda. I own the physical copy. I don't even own a physical copy of Zelda. I downloaded Zelda, and then Bomberman was my first physical game. I still don't own a physical copy of Zelda. Zelda is downloaded to my Switch. I didn't buy an SD card until when did I get an SD card? When did I get a big SD card? I don't remember. I switched it out. I didn't start buying digital games for a minute. I don't remember which I got it. What other games? There was only 5. Oh, that's true. But that also the difference was is that first year was a whole banger. It had a weak first 2 months? No, it was March, April. Well, March had Zelda, so that was enough for most people. April was dead. May had like that Street Fighter remake that came out, and then June is when we got like Arms, and then right after we got Splatoon 2, and then after that we got Odyssey was October, and then we got Xenoblade in December. I'm just saying there's no reason to get for me, realistically, there was no reason to get day one. The only major game being Miles Morales. Especially when a lot of these games granted, we don't know like the frame rates and whatnot until yet. Oh yeah, in April. April was Mario Kart, but I didn't buy Mario Kart, so that doesn't really apply to me. That was the other thing I'm missing. I'm just saying, and here's my thing. It's not like I'm saying the event's bad. I just don't see the point. For me personally, there like it's not something to get me excited for. We don't know how the PS5 will do until it comes out. Which is funny because I didn't buy a PlayStation 4 Pro until like the month before the Switch came out. Like I bought a PlayStation 4 Pro like February of 2017. And then I bought the Switch the month after that. Miles will be at least 25 hours. Let them port Xenoblade to a system that can run it, and I'll be there. What? Get the fuck out of here, bro. I have almost 500 hours in Xenoblade 2. I played the shit out of that. Which is largely dated at the presentation. That's very true. That was the other difference. A lot of those games we knew when they were coming out. Arms got a release date. Well, I don't know if it got a release date, but Arms was announced at the event. Odyssey was announced at the event. Xenoblade 2 was announced at the event. All those games we knew. We're not even talking about the launches. We're talking about like this is the shit leading into the launch. Hell, we knew how much the console was going to be in their event. That is very true. And as someone who played handheld since the Game Boy, I was pretty consistent about playing the Switch. Hell, I still for the most part play Switch more handheld than dock. Most of these titles don't even have a year. That was the other thing. That was the main thing. And like I said, it's not like there weren't games there. I'm not trying to downplay. Listen, if you're excited for the PlayStation 5, that's cool. I'm just saying realistically, I've never, and granted, historically, I've never bought a PlayStation console at launch to begin with. But this isn't that exciting once, here's all these game announcements. And then in the back, as soon as the event's over, boom, this is cross-generation. Boom, this is multi-platform. Boom, this is coming on PC. Like, that kind of shit. And then on top of the fact we still don't know when most of these games are coming out, it's like, bro, what? What? And the difference is that Nintendo was super close. I think Nintendo's event was in January, and then the console came out 2 months later. We still got 6 months. So obviously things can change. I'm just making the point. We knew that the date and price of games that year were coming for Switch. At the same time, being portable is huge. What games got a day and date release date at the first January event? Most of you only have vague windows up until they further clarify, which is true. I think the only game Zelda got dated, and I think because Mario didn't get dated until E3. Arms was dated before, but I don't remember when. It was definitely dated before. We can get the Switch Prite until the January event. Yeah, that's true. And I already said that. What's up, Andrite? I'm just saying, I'm not trying to say the event was terrible. I'm just saying for me, it didn't do much. And also, a lot of Nintendo's games were all exclusive. Like the exclusives we got here, most of them only have years, if that. Some of these don't even have years. Some of these are just, here's a new game that's coming in the future at some point, and we still got time. What's up, Ayers? We still got time, and a lot of people seem to be happy with the event, which is cool. I'm fine with that. I'm just saying, for me, realistically, it didn't do much. It didn't get me overly stopped. The point is, stop ruining the chance. Ruining the chance I'll buy your console by telling me that I can play it on the prior console I own. That is true. Because Nintendo only had one game that was like that, which was Zelda. Zelda, if you bought it on the Wii U, but there was really no reason. Yeah, because there's still games to look forward to. Zelda was the only cross-platform game. But I'm saying like I would say the two heaviest titles in that whole event was Miles and Horizon. And Horizon, I don't think we got a date for either. You didn't just get enough of them titties. Fuck you, Retro. Let's see. There's games looking forward to. Thoughts on the importance of backwards compatibility, and how far back do you think the PS5 will be able to play? The PS5 at most will hit PS4. Like the Xbox will win in that category. Here's the thing. I always looked at backwards compatibility as a bonus. Like that was a cool thing in general, but it seemed like when the Wii U had it, no one gave a fucking shit. And then when the Xbox got it, then it became this huge argument. That's the only thing that pissed me off. The motherfuckers didn't even give the Wii U enough credit for having it. And then all of a sudden, it became one of the most important things forever when Xbox started pushing it in their conferences. And I was like, bro, what kind of nonsense is this? That was like the only thing that ticked me off. I don't think it's anything overly crazy, but it's not like it never hurts to have it. And most people were cool with Nintendo not having it because they were switching consoles. Like there was no way for the Switch to be traditionally backwards compatible unless you did a PlayStation Now like service, which people hate. I do. Miles Morales Spider-Man is the prologue. It can't be a prologue. Oh, I mean a prologue for the sequel. Yeah, probably. But it's a quick game you can do to give the launch something heavy that make me want to buy the console. That's what Miles is supposed to do, except Miles is not the same thing as like a Zelda. I'm just saying for me, it's like not enough to make me want to get it. Like I like Spider-Man. I enjoyed Spider-Man. I'm just not gonna spend $500. That's the other difference. This console's not gonna be $300. This console's gonna be somewhere at least $4, more likely $5 or $6. The concept was the Switch is deciding you're gonna play PlayStation 5. Yeah, that was the other thing. The Switch was just a different kind of console. And the indie scene was pretty strong on Switch during those early months. The Wii U died literally the moment the Switch came out. The PS4 will be supported, and it's been confirmed it's being supported. That's like part of my argument. As soon as the event was over, we had a bunch of fucking PlayStation 4 games. A bunch of these games were confirmed to be PS4 games too. Let's see, the PS5 library. The PS4 will be, and that's the other thing. Sony's consistently supported their older consoles. PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. Most of those, in the PlayStation 4, it seems to be falling in the same line. Most of those game consoles will be consistently supported for like a few years. I'm looking forward to Ratchet, Sackboy, Astro, but those don't even have years. That makes me worry it's a repeat of the PlayStation 4, where they'll show half of the gen and then we will wait 3 or 4 years until the launch. No, they didn't. I just checked. Most of those games only had 2017 window on them. Yes, a few hit that window while others didn't. There was a window was vague as well. 2017 window is is a window. I'm saying we needed the Switch Pro because monolith games need better hardware. I get that point, but it's not like, for me, it doesn't mean a lot. That's all I'll say about that. Spoilers mean at the end of DLC Spider-Man, you do see Peter training Miles. Oh, okay, static. Also, 2017 is a better window than nothing. So a lot of these games have nothing. That's the other difference. A lot of these games have nothing or 2021. I think there was like 3 or 4 titles in there who actually had dates. You had Holiday 2020. You had January 2021, which was Hitman, which is a third-party game. Oh, fuck. Some of those games had 2021. I don't think Ratchet did. I'm just saying, considering what we're coming off of, which is a Sony that, not saying this gen has been bad for them, because financially it definitely hasn't. But I'm saying for Sony, it was a lot of that, oh, here's an announcement for a game that didn't come out for a few years. I am thinking about getting a Switch because the PS5 is cool, but the Switch should have more to offer. The Switch have more to offer for me. Ratchet and Clank was revealed in 2015 and then launched in 2016. Spider-Man was revealed in 2016 and then released in 2018. Nintendo has a few games years in advance and no one says anything. Yeah, they do. Did you not? The Wii U era was literally, that was the problem. The Wii U era was the main issue with that era. Where we got Xenoblade announcement in 2013, didn't come out until the end of 2015. End of 2015 in America. In Japan, it came out earlier. Tokyo Mirage Sessions was another game that had the same fucking problem. I'm not, and listen, I'm just saying, like, in Hero, that that's true. Coronavirus has slowed down things, but as a consumer, I don't have to care about any of that shit because your job is to make me want the game in that day and moment. When the PlayStation 5 launches, if you haven't convinced me in that moment it is worth that money, that's your fault. Like it is for Nintendo, like it'll be for Xbox Series X. It'll be the same thing. I understand with the corona, right? I'm just saying at the end of the day, though, as a consumer, I'm not required to. Nintendo, most people don't complain about early announcements, but they got all the energy for Sony. Hey, look, I can't control what other people do in that situation. Most Nintendo dudes don't complain. Well, that's unfortunate because the Switch hype train, unfortunately, has created a situation that allows Nintendo fans, at least some of the big Nintendo YouTubers, to say a bunch of shit that don't make any fucking sense. Like how people don't complain about the fucking ports that are overpriced. Like I understand those complaints completely, and I don't buy those ports, right? Like Donkey Kong being overpriced. Captain Toad was about the same, which to be fair, probably should have been less. Bayonetta's weird because you're still getting 2 games with it, but because they both run on carts, I could understand the argument there too. Most of the Wii U ports have their own issues, with like a few exceptions. Metroid and Bayonetta were announced during the first year of the Switch, and neither are out. That's true. That's very true. Years in endearment. Yeah, exactly. I'm not what I'm saying, but I'm being consistent, at least as far as my criticism. It's the same issue with those games, was the same issues with PlayStation. When PlayStation would announce The Last of Us took years. None of those games came out as quickly. And I think Nintendo, for the most part, it's been there. We have a few touch and go games as we noticed, but for the most part, it's the same thing. Well, Dragon Quest really wasn't on Nintendo in that situation. That was on Square. I'm trying to stick with first party titles. First party. Hell, at this point, the PlayStation 4's launch looks better than the PlayStation 5 launch. Regardless how you feel about Knack or fucking Infamous or Killzone, that's at least right there. Those 3 games were a better variety than just fucking Miles. Miles Morales is like the only game we know of right now. Okay, I got you, Neo. I just play the console. I'm still on the fence for PC gaming. Yeah, as time goes forward, you will get more and more convinced on the PC side. Because realistically, it's going to get to that point where it's like, why the fuck am I buying a console for a game I can build a PC or pay for a PC to play better? Eventually, it's just gonna happen, especially considering you can use any of those controllers on PC. Metroid had to restart development, and Nintendo told it. Yeah, Metroid's kind of an exception because Metroid, it was definitely unforeseen, and they released straight up with us about it from jump. So I was kind of like, all right, fine. Bayonetta is weird because Platinum keeps saying everything's fine, and we have not seen any of that game. Bayonetta, I feel like, is a fair critique. But Bayonetta is weird because it's even though it's an exclusive, it's still Platinum working on the game. It's not really Nintendo. But that's a fair argument, is the point I'm making. Will Spider-Man be $40? We don't fucking know. We don't know. The Spider-Man messaging just did not pan out well. I don't even know if these games even on like Amazon, so you can pre-order, or do they have like placeover prices? I would assume Spider-Man would be 40 though, personally, because it doesn't make any sense to charge 60, especially if it's like if we don't know yet. Yeah, I don't think these games are even available for pre-order yet, which makes sense, I guess. So we'll wait and see. I'm just saying there's a lot of information we could have been told that we weren't told. That's my whole thing. But like that gets into my main point that I was saying before the event even happened. Sony didn't even need to put out a console this year. I wouldn't even have put one out. I know why they're doing it because they don't want to get caught up where fucking Xbox gets this head start on you and kind of and fucks up your whole game. I understand that, but like PlayStation was sitting pretty anyway. If you were, especially when you got games like The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima coming out, realistically, if you knew your shit was gonna be screwed, I would have just held it. I would have held it. Did what you saw it work for Nintendo? Hold the game off until the console launches. You think? I'm just saying, if you had Miles, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, all on the new console, exclusively to the new console, that is or make it a dual release where it still comes out on the PlayStation 4, but it's like Zelda. They both come out on the same day on each console. That would have worked better. I actually thought that would make more sense to me. Instead of what I think will end up happening, which is that Last of Us 2 will finish, and then like we'll hear about some Last of Us edition, PlayStation 5 edition that includes the multiplayer, which would be its own fuckery. I'm really not a PlayStation fan, but I give props to them for having so much variety in their event. You can list off all the Sony games, and I can find the equal number of Nintendo games for the past 5 years that have had early as hell announcements. I wouldn't be surprised if the big three gaming companies port to PC. Games won't be up for pre-order until a new event. Most likely, this was just to show things off. March 21st had been bad to launch, and down to The Last of Us 2. I doubt Last of Us 2 would have been hold off. I'm saying it would have made more sense realistically. But like I said, we still got time, so we'll see what happens. Last of Us 2, I bet, was going to be on the PS5 until the leak. No, because the leak that was too close. It's way too close. If they were gonna delay it, it had to at very least be 100. See, Nintendo literally had nothing to lose pushing Zelda to launch on Switch. The last 2 years on Wii U was terrible, so it's a case of hold on. I don't know if it got cut off or am I just not reading the whole thing. Hold on. No, he's just. I really doubt the majority of people can afford to drop $500 and $700 on games by the time November comes. That's the other thing. That's the other reason why I said would have hold off. It would have made more sense to hold off on the PlayStation because we've known about the Corona at least since March/April. That's enough time to be like, we can wait a year or at least wait a few months for things to kind of clear up. And realistically, but Neo, it wasn't like PlayStation had anything to lose in this year. PlayStation is a console that literally was selling it in some points of the year off of either third-party games alone, which is still getting, and like no first party. It's not like Sony releases first-party titles every fucking month anyway. So my thought process is they could have coasted. Sony could get away with coasting for the rest of this year. It still would have looked bad for the PlayStation 4, but it's like, all right, fuck it, new console. I think Sony could have gotten away with it, personally. I don't necessarily think it's right that they could get away with it, but they probably could have got away with it. You talk about Persona 4 Golden on Steam? Yeah, I already got it. Prince Revolver gifted it to me on Steam, so I have it. Well, Tony Morales Sessions, I think, is a game that went through development hell. So I don't really believe that game could have been held out longer. I mean, remember, that game came out, technically, that game is a 2015 game. In Japan, it came out at the end of 2015. Uh, we got it early 2016. And then the Switch didn't come out for like another year. That game really, like, there are certain titles that could have waited. But realistically, after like the end of 2016, which there weren't a lot of games during that end of the year anyway, I think Color Splash was like the last game. Yeah. I don't know how much, I don't know if they got screwed over. Talking around Sessions, I don't think got screwed over. If you're talking about like the recent censorship, that was more so, I think, Atlas being lazy and not wanting to fucking use the Japanese version of the game. That's what I think that was. But there wasn't a lot to say about Persona 4 Golden, other than it's cool that it's on Steam. I'm happy it's on Steam. Someone gifted it to me, so I'll be trying that out in the near future. Um, and I hope, yeah, ew, Color Splash. Man, so disrespectful. Choice Color Splash. I say that not buying. I didn't even buy that game, so I don't have any room to talk. But it is kind of funny. They could have waited to release the Zelda remasters on Switch. They would have sold so well. But see, that was too early on. Like, Wind Waker came out what 2014, and then Twilight Princess came out like 2015, I think. 2015, 2016. I can't stream tonight because I have work tomorrow, Lightning. That's the only reason why I'm not streaming tonight. I think the Xbox is waiting for the PS5 because they plan to undercut them. Well, I think, doesn't Xbox have their event in August, or did that get canceled? I don't remember. I thought the last thing I heard was Xbox's event was in August. The next Paper Mario, at least, it's weird because those games have consistently looked good, but they just fucking, it's the gameplay that kills them. I think, now, Paper Mario has never been a series I've been overly interested in. If you ask me which Mario RPG series I was into, it was Mario and Luigi. That was my shit. Uh, this new Paper Mario, at the very least, looks better than the last two or three we gotten. Most people would agree with you. I think almost everybody would agree with you. I thought, whose event did I hear was in August? Or was it PlayStation's? I might be getting it mixed up. I thought Xbox's event was in August. That's fine. If it's in July, then cool. Because Xbox's event wasn't good either. That was the other thing. Although people will be, realistically, if we had to be objective, I think PlayStation's event was better than Xbox's. Xbox's had that dumb shit. Xbox's dumb shit was the fact that they held that shit in the corner that was like, all the games are running on hardware that is like an Xbox Series X. Like, essentially, it was running on a PC that was supposedly spec'd around the same as an Xbox Series X. And like I said, my biggest issue with Xbox is the lack of exclusives. Like, now, I'm the person who cares about that. The casual gamer doesn't give a fuck. But for someone like me who cares about that stuff, Xbox will always be the lowest of the three. Always. Not saying they don't have good. Well, I think the 360 was a piece of shit as far as the console is concerned. Not in terms of games, but as far as that console's hardware, I think it was a piece of shit. Xbox's claim to fame will always be its online. I think that's like the best thing about the Xbox brand and their consoles. They're online, and then recently the Xbox Series X has been very like consumer friendly. But that tends to happen with all these companies when they fucking start losing money badly. But yeah, the Xbox event was worse because there were less games, and it was another, oh, we don't have any fucking exclusives. That means a lot to me as exclusives, because if I just don't see a Thieves. I heard that's the bit. Man, get the fuck out of here, Neo. Neo, get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. The next Tales stream is on July 5th. The producer of the Tales Arise will be there. Well, that'll be interesting, because that's another game we haven't really heard about in like a year, right? Last time we saw it was E3 last year. I watched about the Xbox really without realizing I was watching it. That's the problem with the Xbox events. I don't think neither of the events have been great, but Xbox's was the worst, 100%. I'll sum up the console. Amazing console to play games on, games, but not a system with games. Yeah, that's literally what it is. I think the hardware for Xbox One X is great, but I have no reason to buy it unless I don't own a PlayStation or don't own a PC. And even then, there are games on PlayStation I can't get on Xbox. So it's like fuck. like, like some people will take the hit in power, that which might be the case going into next generation. All 16 went to bleeding edge. It tripped me out. Like that was, and that's like my main issue with like Beyond Good and Evil 2. That I'd be curious if that's gone into development hell or not. I'd be curious. We'll see as far as Beyond Good and Evil 2 is concerned. But yeah, those are like my main concerns. Like Xbox can't stop porting games to other systems. It's fucking. You know what trips me out is that supposedly like that new Super Lucky's Tale, for example. New Super Lucky's Tale is a game that comes out that came out. Oh no, Super Lucky's Tale came out on Xbox, and then Nintendo Switch got the definitive edition of that game, and then they're now porting the definitive edition of that game to Xbox and PlayStation. How the fuck does that even happen, bro? How did that even fucking happen? How do you that's such a weird case. It's such a weird fucking case, bro. That's crazy. The consoles have gotten better. I just have less reason to own them. I'm gonna just wait until they release the PS5 Slim version. That probably will be my same thought process, unless there's just like a bunch of games that come out in the next year or so. They're like God tier, or like fuck it, I gotta play them. It'll be the same thing I did with the PlayStation 4. I waited until 2017 to get a PlayStation 4. Also, you're right, Lightning. I did forget to answer the questions. I apologize. I got real stuck into like we were on such a roll with the conversation. I forgot. Hold on a second. I didn't. There weren't a lot of questions from what I saw. It was like 2 or 3. The last time I checked. Okay, there's 4. No, there's 5. I'll go ahead and answer this one because I've already kind of answered it anyway, which is from Real Condoniano. Will you be playing Persona 4 Golden, or no, as you say it, Persona 4 Godsend anytime soon now that it's on PC? I understand you still have Xenoblade Definitive Edition, so you may be burnt out on JRPGs after that. Well, no, because I'm playing Final Fantasy fucking 7, not the remake, the OG, on Twitch. I'm playing that on Twitch, and then Xenoblade, and then I finished playing Dragon Quest like a few weeks ago, and then Persona 4. Like I said, Prince Revolver was being a bro and gave me the game on Steam, so I will be playing it. I have it. I just need to play it now. Cats can dogs and cats date from Deku Tree? They can, but their parents are gonna pull them away from each other because of speciesism. You're a speciesist if you don't, if because only cats and cats should date according to their parents, and then they'll like through the power of love they will convince their parents but die through the chaos. So in the future all cats and dogs can date, but the original cat and dog that wanted to date are dead. So it's a tragic tale, but it will happen. Oh, Lightning. What are your thoughts on Studio Trigger possibly animating the Shantae series based on getting impressed by Way Forward on the opening of Seven Siren? I have no problem with Trigger doing Shantae. I just want, like, I just don't know if the money's there. That's literally what it's going to be. Shantae is one of those game series that I love, but I don't think makes enough money consistently to justify giving it, like, a high budget, which is a shame, but I think it's the cold reality of that situation. What else? Which character in Smash do you want to see reworked? Personally, for me, it would have to be Sonic. This is from the lazy one. Personally, for me, it would have to be Sonic and Samus and Mega Man a bit because he looks weird. I just wish he shows more expression in his face instead of the deadpan look he got right now. The deadpan look I know is from the old games. That's the reason why he has it. Sonic, I agree with. Sonic has other versions of him you could use. I wouldn't mind them using variations of his moveset. Although he's kind of a hard character because unless giving him like weird gimmicks. But I'm fine. I'm fine with Sonic the way he is, but I wouldn't mind seeing him get reworked. Samus definitely can be reworked, especially because she's so fucking low tier. If I had to pick any other Smash character, it's probably the older ones. Mario definitely. I mean Luigi definitely. I think his moveset should be way more focused on like Luigi's Mansion 3. Like Luigi's Mansion should be the version of Luigi they focus on. Whereas he only has like one or two moves from that. I think it's just it's his final smash and then his grab. That's all they did. Mario, a lot of the Mario characters could be reworked, but Luigi's like the one I specifically want to be reworked. Ganon, definitely. I'm not gonna go into it because I think everyone's already talked about Ganon and how he needs to be reworked. Zelda, to a lesser extent, I think they should double down completely on the mage concept, and she has a lot of it, but like you could there. I want more. Like that's the thought process with that. You can't really do much with the Fire Emblem characters, so there's none of those I need to be reworked. Donkey Kong, I think that series is fine. Yeah, I think those are like the main ones I would like reworked personally. I would, like I said, I wouldn't mind. Like I'm totally down for a Smash Brothers game that like reworks um a lot of the characters because Sakurai obviously can't do what he did in Ultimate again. So do it where you rework the characters and they all have like new move sets. Like Mario gets more Odyssey and Galaxy representation move sets. And then the last one I think is from Lightning. As a casual fan of Mortal Kombat, do you like the rebooted storyline or do you prefer the original storyline that ended in Armageddon? Personally, he prefers the original. What are your thoughts on the Indivisible and Shantae being a guest on it? Neither of those franchises are gory enough to justify being a guest in Mortal Kombat. That's just my thoughts on that. And as far as Mortal Kombat's concerned, I enjoy Mortal Kombat, but I don't play a lot of Mortal Kombat. The only thing I'll say about Mortal Kombat I don't care for is just the way 11 wanted to be woke as fuck. That's like my least favorite thing about Mortal Kombat. Like, listen, and obviously as a weeb and a guy who appreciates like the lewdness, I understand coming from me, it might come off as some bullshit, but like it irks me when you do that for female characters. Don't do it for male characters and then say some bullshit about how it needs to be. It was because of realism, and I'm just like, bro, that's also not true because girls wearing a lack of clothing made sense in terms of fighting in general. So that didn't make any fucking sense. That's just my only annoyance. I'm not saying that girls need to be like bimbos or whatever, but like realistically, you tried to make them look as less female as possible because it wasn't proper representation of women, which is bullshit. Because just like men, women come in all shapes and sizes. That's all I'll say about Mortal Kombat. That was like my only real complaint with Mortal Kombat. Cool that out. Close it out. There weren't a lot of questions, and that's fine. We spent a lot of time talking about PlayStation 5 event, and I only thought that was going to be like the first. I thought that was only going to be like maybe the first like 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes. And it took up like the whole goddamn podcast. It's also because Neo came in here to have a debate. And everybody, and it turned into one of those situations. I'm totally down for a Fire Emblem fighting game. Actually, I think it would do really well. Scroll up, you're missing comments. Oh, sorry. Spawn is the only thing that makes the game worth it. Love Mortal Kombat Deception. I want Street Fighter. I want a Street Fighter with all the characters. They won't do it because then you can't have DLC. Oh yeah, I missed a lot. Holy shit. I was trying to read the questions until Uncle Phil betrayed us. I didn't want to miss the Neo joke. It took me, man. I thought he was singing Fresh Prince because I was listening to that Will remix from Joyner. But yeah, Uncle Phil, Phil Spencer. Xbox brand was supposed to be the successor of the Dreamcast, but it lost itself when Microsoft implemented DMR and the Kinect forcibly on the Xbox One or the Xbone. Realistically, I think the Xbox lost itself during the 360 era. Personally, Spider-Man addict, so PS5 day one for you. That's understandable. I don't agree, but it's understandable. I wonder how long before they release a PS5 Pro. 3 years. We'll say 3 years. Trail must play the 13 trilogy. You love it to death. Most people hate it, but I have it thanks to you, so it will be played. I think Mario could be reworked. Agree. Samus is fine, but they gave her a counter. I don't think she needs a counter. I think you can just make her guns more versatile like they are in the games. I want a screw attack that looks cooler than it does. Someone said they could use Sonic's moveset from the Sonic fighting game on the G. Oh, from Sonic Battle? Yeah, you could. Although he already has kind of moves from that game anyway. He has games. It's from Sonic the Fighters and a little bit of Sonic Battle. 13 would be hard on the first one. You should play 13-2 first. What are you trying to say, Red Dragon? How dare you? Red 13 is not hard. 13 is not hard. I would like to have a Mario and Cappy character. Agreed. Smash with a full focus on story. I'd be fine with that. I love Indivisible. If they can't do Ultimate again, I do want a new game. Just add characters in story mode like Brawl. Well, they only remove characters because they obviously... It's also a way of giving characters shine. It's just that every fighting game does it. And then they also tend to bring back certain characters in DLC. I kind of like the way Street Fighter does it, like 5 did it, where like the characters have been through some shit. Like there's a story behind their new designs, and that can be the basis for the story mode. I just hate Street Fighter 5 story mode. That's my issue with Street Fighter. I like the concept of it. I just hate the story mode for Street Fighter 5. And then I think I'm caught all the way up with all that stuff. Mortal Kombat missed the mystique that made the Mortal Kombat great. Xbox lost itself trying to cater to casuals. The OG Xbox catered to hardcore and had niche games. Very true. They're trying to regain that, but I feel like they're too far in. Unfortunately, I feel like they've actually buried themselves in the casual. So now motherfuckers literally won't touch anything if it's not sports or guns, which is a shame because they definitely been trying, especially with like a lot of the Japanese game push they've had on their E3 stages in the last few years. Xbox definitely has been trying, and I can respect them from trying. It's just that their fucking fan base does not care. Xbox's fan base is so stuck in their ways, they legitimately do not care. And that's a shame. Because they're really good games they're missing out on. That they can play on that console, that they just won't play. Put the 13 trilogy on Switch. I think that's next up anyway, Malik, because they've already put every other Final Fantasy game on there. It has everything from 7 to 12, if I remember correctly. So 13 would be the next. Hell, it has the Pocket Edition of 15. I had an argument with Neo on the 13 series, which he doesn't like, honestly. Doesn't surprise me. A lot of people don't like the 13 series. Final Fantasy 13-2 again on Switch. That's a good game. Street Fighter 5 doesn't even have a lot of characters. It has a good amount of characters. I mean, remember, Street Fighter's been going on for decades, buddy. There's a lot of characters you can put in Street Fighter. Hell, there's a bunch of Super Street Fighter 4 characters who aren't in 5. No offense, but who said it? But I don't get the mindset of starting off with a sequel. I don't agree with that either. If I was going to play the game, I would start from the first game, especially if it gets better through games, because I have like no reason to play the old games. It's like playing Bayonetta 2 over Bayonetta 1. If you play Bayonetta 2 over Bayonetta 1, you will not want to go back and play Bayonetta 1, because Bayonetta 2 is just inherently better. I just like video games, and that's a good mindset to have, Sonica. The Z Killer, give me a few Ninja Gaiden game. That's true. Ninja Gaiden kind of just fucking disappeared. I want a new fucking Fatal Frame. 5 was so good for me. I just 5's gameplay is great. I know people have issues with Fatal Frame 5's story, but the gameplay for 5 is absolutely fucking. I love it. So I definitely would want more of it. But yeah, I think I've hit my standard. Power Stone was before my time in the sense that I was alive and I was playing games, but I did not know shit about Power Stone. But I've heard a lot of good things about Power Stone, actually from Clocked It and T. Speaking of that, tomorrow we will be doing Juices Loose. Like I said before, if you guys want to be a part of the waifu and husbando discussion, that'll be episode 50 on the podcast of the Another Manic episode. Message me on Discord or on Twitter or however you want to get a hold of me. Message me because, like I said, after episode 50, we're switching channels to a new gaming channel because YouTube, I think, has buried this channel under We don't know how to classify it, so fuck it. So, needless to say, husbando anime waifu discussion. Message me if you want to be a part of it. That's episode 50, so you still have like another 8 weeks to let me know. Uh, that'll be the last video on this channel. I'll talk about the new channel as it gets closer. And yeah, also thank you, Lightning, for the Lightning games. Thank you, Prince Revolver, for the Persona game. And then I'll probably do a giveaway for like Paper Mario and Ghost of Tsushima as we get closer to it. I'll probably kick that off after this birthday week. So yeah, this channel will just stay up. It's gonna stay up. I'm just not gonna post on it anymore. That's really what's gonna happen. I think, like I think I said it last week, but the main issue with this channel is that this channel started out. If anyone remembers, this channel started out as a chapter review channel. I was reviewing Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece on this channel, and then it turned into a Pokemon channel because I was also reviewing the Pokemon Best Wishes series. This series has just become kind of a clusterfuck, and this channel has become kind of a clusterfuck. It has a bunch of anime videos and reviews on here and discussions, and I think YouTube just doesn't know where to classify it. So where I'm stuck at constantly on this channel is just a mixture of like I just hang around 12,000 subscribers. I think I just need to reset and have a channel focused on gaming, since I have a channel focused on anime and then focus on that. Yeah, exactly. It's not that the content will change. I'm just splitting it up. The vlog channel will have the societal discussions. The anime reviews will go on the Schizomanic channel, and the game reviews will be on this channel. The other problem is that, like, when it comes to this channel, I only really upload these now. So, like, it makes it less interesting. Tyrone became famous because of you. I don't like to think I'm that big, but people give me that credit, and I appreciate the love and express. Trying to blow up and sell t-shirts, I see. I'm not selling t-shirts. That will only come way later, and people got to ask me for t-shirts. I'm not going to just sell t-shirts. Especially because I hate way certain t-shirts are made anyway. Like that shit where they get like that fucking laminate, like that logo that they laminate on the shirt, and the quality isn't good because you can feel it on the other side of the shirts. And for me, who have eczema, that irritates the fuck out of my skin. That's why I don't buy YouTuber shirts. They fucking suck. I love the YouTuber, but man, fuck them shirts, bro. With your stream series, I mean, I could, and I definitely. The problem is that because I do like gaming news on this video on this channel. I do gaming videos on I do game like these videos cover the gaming news. It struggles. This channel ends up struggling. It's hard to make gaming content on top of that, like other than me streaming on Twitch. So there are things I want to do. There are things I want to get done, but obviously I still got to work and live and shit. And I always appreciate all these gay. Oh no, yeah, there's no roasting. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean to those YouTubers. I'm just saying the shirts always suck. I like the YouTubers, I like the content, but fuck them shirts. Fuck them shirts. I also want to do something that's like practical. Like if I was gonna do something, it has to be something like you could use consistently. Like I'm not gonna do a plushie because I don't even like plushies like that. I have a plushie Pokeball that I bought last year, and guess what it does? It sits. Where is it? I don't know where it's at. I think it just sits in one of these chairs. I want something you can use. You can also cut the stream up into smaller videos. Yeah, I could. But like I said, I think for this channel right now, I'll let these videos hang the way they are. And we'll look at like another Manic episode season 2 as the new channel. Which I haven't even made yet because that tells you I'm still working on it. And there won't be any re-uploads either. On the new channel, it will be like all new content. The only problem is that I can't like... Hold on. Shit gets in my hair. It's fucking stupid. But yeah, the new channel won't have like old content on it. It'll be new content. Although I'm probably gonna put up some normal videos anyway. So I'm probably gonna have to start making the new channel soon to gain the ability to live stream. I just thought about that. is you have to gain that ability. So I'm gonna actually start making the channel relatively soon. So look out for that. But yeah, I think that's it for today. I think the channel will probably be, I'll let you guys know. I will make a video or a post or something to let you know when the new channel is up. I haven't even made it yet, so I'll let you know. I haven't even decided on the fucking name yet, so I'll let you know. Oh, Jesus. But I'll let you know. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you for the love. I appreciate it. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it. And thanks for hanging out. I always get consistently 20-something viewers on this. So I'm glad that you guys enjoy the content. And I'm going to work on making better content and more entertaining content moving forward. So yeah. Thank you for joining me for another Manic episode. This has been your boy, the Insane Game Freak. And I will catch you guys later. Let's go. All right. Later days. And have a good weekend. Oh, hi, Moshuvu. You just popped out of nowhere. Shout out to Moshuvu just because you show out of nowhere. Damn.